Compounding a crime? Because a crime is an offense against society as a whole, the individual victim has no right to enter into an agreement with a criminal that would prevent or avoid or delay his prosecution from public authority. Yes. The burglar who breaks into your house at night and steals your silverware may decide the next day he's made a big mistake and offer to return all he stole if you agree not to tell the police about this crime. You may accept the return of the silverware, but if you agree not to tell the police, you are compounding a crime and may yourself be prosecuted for a felony. Oh. If you know that a crime is about to be committed and you don't try to stop it, or if you know that a crime has been committed and you don't report it to the proper authorities, you may be charged with misprision of felony. This offense is seldom prosecuted today, but you should at least understand, that you run a risk when you fail to prevent the commission of a crime, if you can, or fail to report its commission as soon as possible after you know of it. Yes. Now, this compounding of a crime, yes. The crime is an offense against society as a whole. And when you think of society, you could think of the United States. You could think of the European Union. Society does not necessarily define the local geographic area that you live in. It's any group of individuals in society, yes, that can be liable for compounding of a crime. Now, this idea that I'm going to agree with your use of the judicial system to issue fraudulent court orders where you're going to refuse to enforce my rights, yes, and then you're going to violate the amendments of the United States Constitution, and then you're going to compound the crime by alleging that I violated right now. Yeah, I would say that most any nation of the world, yes, that has an obligation to inform the United States, yes, could be held liable for the compounding of a crime. Now, I informed you on November 15th of 2015, yes, that the petitioner didn't sign the protection order. You issued it for 10 years, and you did not give me any due process when you issued it. Your idea was to have somebody act the part of myself, yes, having the evidence that I never committed any crime, yes, tried me twice, right, and then your whole thought was right now compounding a crime. Now, it says here that any citizen, that does know that a crime is about to be committed, you have an obligation to stop it. And for the last 3 years and 10 months, that's what I've been trying to do. But you, as a court, said we don't have to reverse our court orders. Well, I think you violated the statute of frauds. Yes. And you violated numerous other laws. Yes. And you're compounding the crime of misprision of felony. Now, your obstruction of my right to use the judicial system of this nation, the United Nations, the Hague, the European Union, and any constitutional court in the continent of Africa. Why don't you get me every judge in every nation of Africa? Every attorney in the continent of Africa? Yes. All the bar associations, those elected to office, right, and the law enforcement of the continent of Africa. Now, I would have thought, yes, you would have, that the United States of America, as soon as you had knowledge, state legislature, Seattle Police Department right now, every sheriff, that you would have immediately obligated the removal of all fraud. But instead, you decided to say that I was a mentally ill homeless man, yes, that did not understand about my rights as an American citizen. Now, that Fifth Amendment violating of trying me twice for the same offense, yes, I wasn't in Sequim. Oh, and you had the evidence of that, yes. I wasn't in Jefferson County, and you had the evidence of that, yes. You do have the evidence of forgery and fraud, yeah. Now, I would really like it right now if this nation were to remove the fraud of the protection order. Yes. And since you gave me no due process when issuing the dissolution of marriage, yeah, you would remove the fraud of the dissolution of marriage. Then you would give me custody of my 5 sons. Right. Then there's the fraud of the identity of Marilyn Van Proyn in the Rotarian newsletter. If you would remove that fraud and let me speak to Marilyn, yeah, I'd like to know where she'd like to live. Now, it's quite possible today, yes, that I am going to hold liable every nation of Africa